Just as far as the injury, we had a couple guys that were sick, not non-COVID related, but Yasir Durant and then Tyreek Hill, both were sick. So, and then Damon Wilson had hurt his knee, so he didn't practice either. Other than that, everybody was out there. We look forward to the challenge of playing the Dolphins. We know they're a good football team, and not only by record, but by the way they coach them and the way they play. And so our players were able to get a little tape on them today and practice and get themselves on the first leg here of a preparation to play against them. So anyways, with that, time's yours.
Go first to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Coach, I know you guys have done some unique things in the past when it comes to preparing for someone like Lamar Jackson. Will there be anything unique with the left-hander in Tua, and how difficult is it to prepare for someone with so few NFL starts to their name?
Well, he's got enough. I mean, he's a good football player, and so is Fitz. I mean, they've got two good quarterbacks, so you got to make sure that you got the right side and the left side of it covered. And but Tua's got a great future, and Brian knows that, so they're working him in, and he's producing for him. And it looks like it's a really good draft pick for him.
Go next to Sam Mellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Andy, we asked you a lot about the Tyreek play, the replay thing. I wanted to ask you about the other sort of close call on the touchdown, the one that got called back on the holding penalty. Initially, there were two flags on that play, and the ref said there's no penalty for the backflip or whatever. Did you get clarification? Is that because the touchdown didn't count? And do you have clarification going forward? Is that going to be a penalty, and do you have a problem with him doing that?
Well, I'll talk to him about that, but I just want him in the end zone. That's what I'd like. It's nice that he can do backflips, but let's do him in the end zone. So, and yeah, I mean, it's not unless it's taunting, it's not a penalty. So.
Okay, and did they pull that flag up because they said it wasn't taunting, or because the touchdown didn't count?
That's what they told me. So I yes.
Let's go next to Todd Lebo. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Coach, Brian Flores was up with New England for a long time, so I don't know who exactly calls all the defensive plays and everything, but do you see some of those kind of New England fingerprints on the way the Dolphins play defense, and what sort of specific challenge do they provide defensively, since, you've faced the kind of New England style before? Yeah,
Brian's a great defensive mind, so I mean he's sharp. He he did run the defense there in New England, and when we were in the championship game, he was the one calling them. So he knows that thing backward and forward. And you could see it. You could see how those guys are playing. I mean, they're one of the top defenses in the league, and it's evident why. So, I mean, they play hard, aggressive, and definitely maximizing everything he's got there. So I think the players believe in him.
Go next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach, you can appreciate good tight end play. Obviously, you have Travis Kelce, but when you look over at the Dolphins, they got a good one in there, Mike Gesicki. What are some of the impressions you have from when you pop on the tape and you see what he's been able to do this year?
Yeah, well, Mike was a heck of a player, high school and college there. So he's been able to carry it over. People at one point thought he was going to just be a receiving tight end. He was thin and that whole deal, but he's filled out nice, and I think he's tremendous. I mean, he's really a great route runner, and he can high point it and very long, and so he can go up and get it, and that's a tough matchup. Yeah.
Go next to Sarin Petro. Go ahead, Sarin.
And I'll have a quick follow-up, Brad. Coach, first of all, just on Emmanuel Ogbah, what you see out of him, you guys had him here. He gave you guys a spark on the pass rush before he got hurt. What did you see in him? If you remember the personnel conversations, I know Brett handles that, but what it was you guys saw in him, what he delivered, and what he is now?
Yeah, no, listen, we liked him here. I think he's a heck of a football player, and I love the person. I mean, he's a great kid. He ended up getting hurt when he was here, but up to that point, he was playing really good football. And right now he's playing tremendous football. So, and he made a lot of money, which is great for him. And that's a real plus for him. So he well-deserved, and he's giving him every dime of it right now.
And I know the conversations about their quarterbacks, the Dolphins have really been doing a lot with their defense, but the number on Patrick, since you've had Patrick, the Chiefs with Patrick, is that of his 9 losses, 8 times the other team had to get to 31 points to beat you. So that's kind of the book. Like if you're going to beat the Chiefs, you have to hang a big point total out there. Do you notice other teams maybe coming out of their personality, maybe trying to do too much because they feel like they've got to get to maybe a bigger point total than they're really capable of?
I don't know that. We've seen some creative things, but I can't tell you that one way or another. I'm sure somewhere they talk about that you got to score and do that, but I don't know exactly what they're saying to them. But they have done some creative things. Yeah.
Looks like we've got 3 left. We'll go right down the line, starting with Darren. Go ahead, Darren.
Coach, good afternoon to you. 2-part question. The first being, last year following you all's bye week, you all were kind of like in playoff mode. Obviously, with the teams that you've been playing post your bye week, the Raiders, Tampa Bay, of course, you got Miami coming up, and then New Orleans. Have you all kind of switched into that playoff mode, trying to make sure that you all go straight all the way through to hopefully Tampa Bay once again, and then Brad, I have a follow-up.
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, you get so focused on the team that you're playing, you don't really think of anything other than that. And you try to maximize it every week. I mean, that's kind of what we do. And we don't look ahead. We don't look behind. We're just trying to nail what we've got going that week. And then, specifically today, this day here. So we have situations that we have to get covered, and you want the guys to maximize that and not worry about all the other stuff that they can't control there.
Go next to Harold Kuntz. Go ahead, Harold.
Andy, obviously some memories here going back to Miami. Obviously, you're not playing the 49ers but the Dolphins, but just kind of when you're going to Miami, to kind of go back in your memory a little bit and remember all the good times there.
Yeah, listen, I probably won't go there too much. I mean, I was locked down in a hotel when I was there and trying to get ready for the game. And I was pretty, the game and all was great, but 2 different scenarios. We've got in-season game. There's not all the glitz and glamour that there is for a Super Bowl. So, and we're playing a good football team that we got to do the same thing we did before. You got to focus in on them and make sure that you've covered all the bases. I mean, they're too good not to. So.
We'll go last to Steve Walls. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Andy, I know you're in game prep, but so I'm not sure if you saw it, but both Patrick and LDT have been named as Sports Illustrated Sports Persons of the Year, the activist athlete. Just wanted to get your thoughts on both those guys, according to Sports Illustrated, as 2 of the 5 guys who inspired her in 2020.
Yeah, well, listen, I mean, Ted Cruz gave me a heads up on it. And what an honor, man. I mean, that's of all the people in all the sports, I mean, to have 2 guys, let alone 2. I mean, it's crazy. So both so deserving. I'm proud of them for both of them for all they do. And and Patrick's young here, and we'll continue on. And Larry's young as a doctor, so he's going to keep rolling there. So it's and LeBron's been doing it a long time. I mean, all of them have their own story. I mean, it's tremendous. I just think it's it's a great thing, great honor. Yeah.